You're stuck on a case with no one to turn to. You just got a contract renewal from your software vendor with a huge increase that you just can't afford. And now your calls for support are going straight to voicemail. You're not alone. You might opt to chat with a work associate to try and solve these problems, or you might reach out to a colleague at another retailer, but that's just going to take time that you can't afford. Wouldn't it be better to be able to reach out to all your peers from a single location so they can help you solve the case, where you can get some information from them or a former vendor on strategies and tactics others have used to get your renewal price down, and for ideas on how to solve your problem if you're not getting the support you need from your vendor? That's the power of this LP community. Stick around to the end of this video because we're going to go through a whole lot of things, a whole lot of values, a whole lot of features that this community is going to offer you so you can get the answers that you deserve. So stick around. This community it's an open forum, so for all loss prevention individuals to collaborate on any topic related to your practice, your career. You can collaborate with peers, not just from your company, but from all organizations, because all LP practitioners are invited. Imagine working with other retailers effortlessly from a single place. You don't have to get on a phone call. You don't have to go to a trade show or an ORC community event. You can just get on this thing from your phone or directly from your PC or any other device that's connected to the network. So imagine the value in having that right at your fingertips. Helen Keller is quoted as saying, "Alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much more." So let's get together, join the community, and start adding value and getting value from that community. Another reason for joining the community is case collaboration. I'm sure there's situations where you've got a grab and run or some partial license plate, you've got pictures, or you've got a description of some bandits that took off and really hit your stores hard. Well, imagine a place that's protected where you can share a little bit of detail with those in your community, and then maybe there's a match. Maybe there's another retailer experiencing the same challenges that you are. This community is also designed for that. So you can go into the case collaboration page, give a short description, and then maybe someone else sees that and they reach out to you, and now you can collaborate together offline on that particular case, growing it to a higher and higher level, where now not only would you get your municipal law enforcement involved, but maybe you can get state or federal authorities to help out with that case. And of course, the more value, if it crosses state lines, if it crosses retailers, you're going to get better law enforcement resources to help you solve that case. Just imagine a Facebook-style environment that's protected, that you can collaborate with all your peers. That's what this is. Now, in case you didn't already know, I have worked on the vendor side of LP solution providers for the last 20 plus years. I've worked every job at a solution provider with the exception of accounting. So I've done support, I've done some marketing, I've done engineering, so I've written code, I've worked on the analyst side, I've helped customers implement their specific needs and solutions. I've also been on the product management side, which is more all-encompassing of the entire product, where we're looking at the market, we're looking at the customers, and we're looking at the value proposition to try and produce the best possible products for customers. One other area that I have a lot of experience in, probably was about 8 of the last 10 years, I worked in sales for the leading case management platform. And we took that company, I was employee number 6, we took that company from $600,000 a year in annual recurring revenue, and in 6 years, We brought it to over $15 million in annual recurring revenue, making it a very valuable asset. And then that company got sold to a private equity firm. So just so you're aware, I have a lot of insider knowledge. I've worked in all of those jobs. I know what's possible when it comes to software and development. I know a little bit about pricing. I actually helped write the pricing models for several organizations when I worked there. I know how to position a request to your vendor so that they are more likely to get done. There's going to be a lot of information provided around that. I know all the negotiating strategies that they're using, so I can help you gain the upper hand when you're negotiating a new contract or a renewal with your existing vendor. So this community is all about that. So in contract negotiations, I've got a document that's going to help you with negotiating strategies that you can get started on right now. So you don't want to wait till 15, 30, 60 days before your next renewal comes up. The best time to start planning for your renewal is right after you sign those renewal contracts. So we're going to work with you on strategies, and we actually have a document with 8 different strategies you can use to position yourself in a place of strength rather than a place of last minute, I got to get this done. We're also working on a bunch of resources to help you with that. So some of which are going to give you lots of tremendous value, and there will be more on that a little bit later. This community is also a place to educate yourself. So being a former vendor that's done development, implementations, all of those things, I have the skills, the knowledge to share with you tips and tricks, strategies, and how-tos on how to get more value out of your current system. I can help you, show you how to build a new report. What reports matter? Because building a report is one thing, but what reports matter? And I'm sure you have great measurements and a process, but there may be some ideas and concepts that we share with you that will help you gain more value out of your software by giving you suggested reports. So we're working on stuff like that too. We're going to teach you those negotiating strategies. So there's going to be some training programs. We're also going to, so we've got a training program called How to Get More Value from Your Case Management Tool. We're working on one which is, hey, I want to see if I can do it myself. Because at the end of the day, case management is really very simple. It's not sophisticated. It's not complicated. You collect information about a case. You run through a workflow that is a duplicate of your business processes. And then once it's closed, you get information back out of it that's summarized aggregate reports to identify how we're doing, what are the things that are causing us the most grief, who's doing a good job, who's doing a poor job, all of those sorts of things. So it really is very simple. So we're putting together a training program in this community. Now it will be a premium product, so there will be an extra charge for it, but it will be reasonable. And it's going to give you the A to Z on how to build your own case management tool. And really, we're starting with case management. Case management is the thing that everybody needs. But there are a number of tools loss prevention use besides case management. So you've got case management, audit, compliance audits. So we're gonna dig into that, do all the same type of things with audit next. We're gonna then jump into exception-based reporting, and we're gonna do all those same things. We're gonna give you some strategies and ideas on how to get more value, what reports make sense, how to negotiate. If there's anything specific on negotiating with those, I think it's pretty standard negotiating across the board. And then training you, how can I build my own audit platform? How can I build my own exception-based reporting? That's going to be quite a bit more complicated, because obviously we're talking about huge sums of data. So you need a big platform that has the ability to conduct queries, but not writing queries, but more of a visual query builder. And so there's a lot of tools out there that make that really easy. So we're gonna get to that eventually. Some other things that are exciting about the platform, this community platform, is sharing is caring. Share. It doesn't have to all be about, hey, I had this problem or I need this help. It could be, hey, our company just closed a major case involving 5 retailers across 4 state lines, and we apprehended 25 subjects and recovered, $2 million worth of product. This is the place for that. Or talking about, someone that just retired that had a great career and they were a huge mentor to so many people. This place is also a place for that. And then the other thing too is let us do some of the work for you. So some of the things that we're doing to help provide you more value is we're conducting a survey. So you may have already received a survey request in email or through YouTube or some other means, but that survey is to take and understand the state of case management across all customers. So all customers of case management solution providers. So we can get your honest opinion on what's working, what's not working. What's the approximate value or cost that you're paying? How many users do you have? So that we can report in this community, this protected community environment, to you the results of that report, so that you'll have not just, you'll know your vendor, but you can look at other vendors. Hey, if I have ThinkLP and I want to look at Appriss, or I have Appriss, I want to look at ThinkLP, or I want to look at Admiral Bridge, or you name all of the providers out there. We're going to collect that information, aggregate it, and put a summary report together for you, so you can see, based on the opinions of other customers of those vendors, what product best suits you. Maybe the product you're using now is the one for you. Or maybe you'll look at that report and say, you know what? I see a better option here. Same capabilities, costs less, more personable. I don't know. We'll give you the information so you can process it accordingly. We're doing that work on your behalf so that you don't have to. So it's going to help you short circuit those renewal conversations. You're going to have information at your fingertips that you can take to those contract negotiations. We're also going to put together a group of generalized RFP questions. I have filled out dozens, if not 100 or more RFP requests from customers, and in my time doing so, I've seen RFPs with 10 questions, and I've seen RFPs with 500 plus questions. So I'm going to put together some of those common questions in a package so that you can start with not a blank slate, you can leapfrog into a group of questions already prepared that you can take to your RFP. Now, some of them may apply, some of them may not. There may be some that you need in addition to these questions, but this is going to be a good head start for you to start with. And I'm also going to take these, I'm going to approach all the vendors, and I'm going to ask them to respond. Now, I may not get responses from everyone, but if I do, and there's going to be benefit to them because they're going to get the entire audience of this community as a prospective audience of their RFP questions. So if they've got something great to offer, they're gonna fill that out so that we can provide you that information. And you'll gain access to some resources. So there's going to be some training, some of the training materials that will be, or training programs that will be included with your your community subscription. There's also some, helper documents, case studies, reports, things like that I've already talked about that are also included with this. One of which contract negotiation strategies, eight strategies you can use to help negotiate better contract deals with your vendors. Top 5 ways to gain more value from your case management solution. So 5 things. I've already talked about one, which is improving reports, identifying reports that meet the specific needs and goals of your organization. Because we can put reports together all day long, but we want to know and we want to measure based on our goals as an organization. So we're going to help you with some of that stuff. 10 things to consider when looking for a new case management solution. So there's a lot of those things that you may or may not think about when you are building that RFP or just going out to vendors to get demos. There may be some questions you're not asking which can shoehorn you into something that you didn't want if you hadn't thought about it. So we're going to give you all of that stuff. And I know the dirty secrets. I know the things that some of the vendors may not have a great answer for, and you want to ask those to get a full, candid response from them. So you get access to all of those great materials. And then another great benefit, since we have this community and it is made up of loss prevention practitioners all coming to the same place, what better place to post job vacancies than that? And then what better place to let the community know that you are open and available for work than that community? So we're also going to provide that as an option as well. So you can post jobs and you can post that you're available for a job. We just want to maximize value. We have a passion to bring to you all this information from the side of the vendor, because I was on the other side for a very long time. And when I was there, I saw some things that I didn't like, and I'm not going to share those with you, but it gave me a sense of it gave me a sense of concern for the customers that I was servicing. I truly care about the customer. I care tremendously about good product. And all too often in a lot of organizations that are providing solutions, you have certain folks closer to the top making decisions about products not based on customer or user value, but based on profit margins. And yes, every business is out there to make a profit. However, there needs to be a balance between profit and user value. So I've seen a lot of unbalanced situations where profit's the only focus. User value comes if it comes. So that's why I'm so passionate about this. I want to help you get the most out of your solutions and maybe even help you build your own. I want to give you a little story here about how the community comes together and you can get more from being a part of a community. Well, my daughter, she recently opened a dance studio in the small town where we live. And she started by going to the church that we go to, and she rented rooms from them daily, the little gymnasium that they have, to conduct her classes. Now, some of the challenges are that she can't leave her stuff there. She has to bring it back and forth, loading and unloading. She doesn't have a space to post information about the studio and classes and things. So it's a little bit cumbersome, and it can also get pricey because it's a daily rate. So we put it out there in the community that she's started this dance studio, and we got rumblings that there was a big space for rent that had no walls, just a giant 4,000 square foot warehouse. So found out that the person who purchased that building is an acquaintance of mine, so I reached out to him and said, hey, listen, this is what my daughter's doing. Tell me about the space. And I told him about what she was planning to do, and it worked out. And so we came together on an agreement, and she now has a space. It costs less. They actually built it to her needs, and she's doing classes, and she has like over 60 students now, and she's only been operating less than a year. So the moral of the story is that if you are active and engaged as a part of a community, the community will provide you what you need. You're probably asking yourself, well, what's this going to cost me? It's pretty simple. It's the price of a lunch per month. $14 a month, or you can buy a whole year for $149. For all that value, it's a no-brainer. 14 bucks. And then the nice thing too is you can make it easier on yourself, and you can just expense it, because this entire community is completely and totally focused on bringing you value for your loss prevention practice. It's a loss prevention expense. So sign up and put that 14 bucks every month on your expense account, and you're golden. There's a quote in hockey circles from the hockey player they call the Great One, Wayne Gretzky, but in reality, the quote is actually attributed to his father, Walter Gretzky. And that quote is, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So in other words, if you don't join the community, you won't know the value you're going to get from it. Many hands make light work. Together, everyone achieves more. Henry Ford said, if everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. Let success take care of itself and join this community. What are you waiting for? Click the join group button on the side of the page and start your journey with us today.